Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So anyone who really knows me knows that I really love reading. Like, I have a reading addiction. I will spend a whole day reading a book. So I'll miss out on food, I'll miss out on sleep. It can be really bad. And once I get into a good book, I really can't put it down. I haven't always been this way. I used to hate reading as a child. Partly because when you had to do book reports, they'd always pick the worst books for me. I think that reading is an important part of life. There is something out there for everyone, even if you yourself don't think that you are a reader or that you'll like books. You're probably just not looking in the right section. I mean, hell, look, before like Twilight came out, I know so many people who didn't read, and trash Twilight all you want. Like, it's kind of what I would call Twilight is a kind of children's book, an adult's children's book. So it's something that's really easy to read. Maya, bad with names. She's really good at creating these worlds where it's just a page-turning story. So you just want to keep diving into it, finding out more, and like eventually you'll find yourself at the end. So there's something out there for everyone. If it's non-fiction, fiction, creative non-fiction, if you want to read autobiographies, if you want to read like science magazines or anything like that, there is something out there for everyone. One of the reasons that I really love reading is that it's just an escape. You can imagine yourself in someone else's shoes, even if it's a real story, if it's a fantasy world. You could be riding a dragon, like, who cares? And you can just put yourself into these fantasy worlds and imagine yourself as a character and live out these alternative lives. So you might never, experience something for yourself, but through a character you can. And it's just, a really good break from life. It's really sad too though, because I mean, when I fall in love with a story, then when I finish reading it, which is usually in a day or two, because like, again, as said, I'm addicted to reading. If I find a book that I like, I struggle to put it down. I have to like consume it until I finish reading it. Yeah, good and bad things about me. But yeah, so once I finish a story, it's almost as if my best friend has just died and I'm in mourning. I feel kind of depressed, like I'm really sad and lonely. My friend's gone, they're never coming back. So I just want to talk about, I guess, start a series or something about talking about books that I really like. In my adult life, there is this author that I've come across. She's an amazing writer. She captivates me in her worlds that she creates. She's like this paranormal romance writer. She has a few different types of books out there, but her main series is like an adult romance, so it can get a little hard. So her name's Kresley Cole. I'll put a picture of her. If I screw up any names, then once again, I don't know about names, sorry. The series that I really like is a young adult series. It's called the Arcana Chronicles. It's about this world set, I guess, in current day society in America. So it's based around this one main girl called Evangeline, and she's nicknamed Evie for short. She starts off as just like this normal high school girl, everyday problems. Suddenly her world kind of turns upside down. She had this crazy grandma who would tell her all of these like stories that her mum didn't like her being told, and then her grandma got shipped off because she was crazy, and now she's like left really confused because she's having these like hallucinations. She doesn't know what's going on. Basically what's happening is there's this normal everyday 16-year-old American girl is being thrown into this apocalyptic world. Her world is turned upside down. People, friends, family she knows have all kind of died. They've all got these powers. She's got to face these new unknown dangers like zombies, slavers, cannibals, really bad army guys, people who just want to take advantage of her. Like 22 kids are now being pitted against each other, and they're all the major arcana from the tarot cards. So you've got like death and life and all of these other ones that I can't remember at the moment, and it's this game that's unfolding and only one of them can survive. So it's kind of like Hunger Games meets Battle Royale. It's like a little kind of fantasy apocalyptic world, throw in some zombies, really relevant. It's a really great story, and I haven't come across many stories quite like this. So there's 6 books at the moment. I'm not sure if that's going to be the total. I've only read 1 to 3, so I'm going to give my summary on those 3 books, and number 6 is coming out sometime this year, it says. So I'm going to wait for that and then read 4 to 6. So these are the 3 books. These are the older covers, and then the 3rd book came out with like a newer cover. So I'm just going to get into what I liked and didn't like about the books. Book 1, really liked it the first time I read it, loved it still the second time I read it. So it was really a great story to start off the series. I've read her adult paranormal romance, which is a bit more hot and heavy, and this one is really kind of nice, and it's like really sweet and subtle, great for a young adult audience. Which what is really good about it is it doesn't give much details away, like it's not that descriptive in those kind of romance areas. It's done in such a way that it makes it up to the audience then to imagine it for themselves, so she didn't have to write in all of those details. You can just project your own imagery and make it your own. So that's really clever, I think. So the romance in this one with Jackson, and he's like really hot bad boy. Whoa! But she's just generally going on the hero's journey throughout this book. Yeah, so the whole story kind of has its hero's journey overall, but then each individual book has its own hero's journey. But what I struggled with in this book was that an apocalypse has happened and most of humanity's been wiped out. Technology is basically gone. And you have these zombies who've popped up out of nowhere. But what I don't understand is it seems that across a wide spread of land of people, a lot of people who haven't come in contact with each other, they all describe these zombies as bagmen. And I'm just like, realistically speaking, how would they all come up with the same name? I liked in The Walking Dead, sometimes when they would come across different groups, they would have different names for the zombies. So that's like more of a realistic idea, that different groups of individuals will come up with different names. Not everyone's going to think of the same name. We're all creatively speaking have different minds. So that's something I struggled with. Still a minor detail though, because I really love her. They have really great hook endings too. Like book 1 has a really great hook ending, and just like, oh my god, what's the next thing that's going to happen next? I got to start reading another one. And the addiction starts again. So book 1 was called Poison Princess. Book 2, Endless Night. I guess book 1 was more of a focus with Jackson and her journey with him. Book 2 is a focus of her experience and journey with death. So I've forgotten his name, dude. I forgot what death is called. So basically she's now got, you know, this kind of triangle going on, and death is like, whew. There's some hot stuff too. I think it's really wrong of me to say I think she should sleep with everyone. Like, I probably wouldn't do it myself, but I think she should. I mean, you've got, you know, it's the end of the world, girl. Just hook up with whoever. I mean, you've got cannibals roaming around, girl. How many people you think got moral values? So yeah, as you can tell, there is like a kind of love scene. It doesn't really go through, and I think she should, because death's kind of hot. Even though it's like some kind of sadistic, oh my god, what is that, the word? Yeah, I just honestly think in this book my negative is that Evie didn't get more frisky with death. But other than that, like, I loved it. I read it to the end. It's like a page turner. Like at the end you're just like, oh my god, what happens? I gotta read the next one. Like, that's gotta be a negative too. Like, it's just, I can't stop from reading it. I have no life when I'm reading it. No life anyway. But I would appreciate a life with reading it. That's still on me though. There isn't much of a boss scene here, so she doesn't have to necessarily defeat the evil in the way that you would, but in book 1 she does. What I find is, and the same is with book 3 too, that the journey is kind of dragged out all the way, and then suddenly the big boss is at the end, and that only takes like a little few seconds to defeat. Like I would like a little bit more time focused on the big bad, like whatever the big bad thing is, because I just feel like if we're building up to it and it's taking a long time to build up to, then there should be a lot of time spent on it. It shouldn't just end really quickly, because it's like anticlimactic for me in a way. I don't really have much to say about book 2 at the moment. I didn't really write much down for it when I was doing it. It's, yeah, but I still loved it. It's not a bad book. I just can't remember what I was doing when I was writing this down. Book number 3 is called Dead of Winter. It's got the new cover. I think it's great. Surprise, I think it's great. I need better words. Evie's escaped death and she's on her journey to defeat the evil twins, the lovers, which is really, really weird because they're like twins, but they have like a romance, incest. It's a lot of weird things. Like there's a lot of kind of dark things, but not too descriptive in how dark they are, which is once again appropriate for a young adult novel. And this time, book 1 was Jackson, book 2 is Death, book 3, both of them facing off against each other. So that's really interesting. Like I didn't see that coming. The ending was incredible. Like I didn't see that coming. What I like about these books is because they're so unique or original to me. I don't know if they're original idea, but their original idea to me is that because it's so original, I can't always predict what's going to happen. I mean, something's obvious because they follow a general story pattern, but other things are like, wow. I guess also because I'm not really familiar on tarot cards, so it's hard to fully pre-know characters based off of whatever their tarot association is. It's kind of turning into a Game of Thrones series by book 3, just because all your favourite characters start dying off. It's like, why can't you kill the annoying one? Why does the annoying character always survive? Like, I mean, there is a pattern of who dies in horror films, but why in books does the annoying character always survive and your favourite one die? Unless your favourite one is the annoying character, then I mean, great, good for you. Not for me, good for you. Overall, I think it's a really original idea. I love the little bits and pieces, because all of this history about tarot cards and whatever magical powers they come with, and how like you can get really creative with these type of things, and I can't predict every outcome. Like book 3's ending, I didn't see that happening. You also have a lot of characters, like male and female, who are both strong and weak, and it's like interesting to see them develop themselves. And it's really interesting to see because some of the characters really evolve, and sometimes you can't always perceive if they're good or evil, and there's not always a clear line between them. Some things are grey and you don't know which side they're on. So characters really develop as the story goes on. Also, there is, in book 2, it's discovered that there is a character that is unknown, so they don't come into play in the game until they actually kill a major arcana themselves, and so everyone is just basically like human, except for these 22 kids who are like kind of semi-gods. They can be immortal, but they're not really. Like they have these superhuman powers, they have strengths above humans, but some of them are very weak. Like some of them are very hard to kill, and some of them are very easy to kill but have very strong powers. It's you know, interesting. So my theory is that that one that doesn't come into play, it seems to make sense that it would be Jackson. And also there is a throw up in the air of the end of book 3. This is a big spoiler. If he is alive or not, and I think he is. I feel like the girl who definitely died, I feel like she died to save him. She must have pushed him out of the way at the last minute or protected him somehow. That's what I feel like would have happened. I hope you enjoyed watching this. Like, subscribe, comment below, let me know. Don't know what I'm doing. Just trying new things, seeing where this takes me, just talking about things that I love. I love reading, I love Kresley Cole's books. Don't know if I'm saying her name right still. Thanks for watching. and you don't know which... Really? And you... Does he know? And you don't know which side...